Welcome. This is MoneyHeart. I'm your host, Camille Diaz, and on MoneyHeart, we explore the emotional side of money. Today, we're discussing impulse buying and saver's guilt. My guest is Michele Chiappetta. She's a writer, editor, and whatever. Michele, welcome to MoneyHeart.
Hello, I'm a cat herder as well.
Cat herder. Ooh, that is a big job.
Keeps me busy.
It would, yes. But that keeps you out of trouble, right?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. Absolutely. All right. So when we were kind of discussing this before, you told me that as you were growing up, your parents had two very different styles of handling money. Kind of walk us through what that was and how it affected you.
Yeah, for sure. My mom has always been very much a saver. Penny pincher, so she's good with money. She really is. But, it was always very much, let's put this aside and save it and, use it wisely. Dad is not completely the opposite, but Dad is very much oh, this looks cool. Like, what's this new cookie on the shelf at the grocery store? And,
sure.
I could use some new shirts and, so he would very much want to just go out and treat himself. And so, growing up, it was just kind of interesting because it's kind of hard sometimes to figure out what do I do then? What should I value? Should I value saving? Should I value treating myself? How do you do both of those things? And so it's always kind of a challenge I still struggle with that a little bit, to be honest, to figure out when is it okay to spend
yes.
and allow myself to enjoy something. And when is it not worth it? So yeah, yes. It's been its own unique thing for sure.
yeah. That balance is really hard of, if you come from people who are savers, you want to save.
Right. Exactly.
You probably see the advantage of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in their case, for example, they were able to do a lot of things that probably families that, and couples at that age would not have been able to do. Even just like taking the family on a nice vacation or, they had a timeshare for a while, all of these things that required them to save to buy it and then save to take care of it. And, there'd be a lot of people in the family, extended family, who'd be jealous, like they have money all the time. Well, no, we just don't spend on other things. And so, yeah, finding the balance is interesting for sure.
Right.
Not always easy.
Yeah. So what were some of the times, because I know you told me about in the past how your impulse buying kind of got the better of you because you had that, reward yourself desire.
Right.
And so how did that work out and how did you kind of maybe back down from it?
Yeah. I think what happened when I was younger especially was that there was very much a desire to, buy something because I wanted to enjoy it, but would feel guilty because, I'd look at the price tag and think, well, that's too much. I shouldn't spend that. And what ended up happening, I'm thinking particularly like with clothes, although I know it happened with other things, but like as a perfect example of this would be clothing, where I would go out and find something that I really liked, but it would cost too much. And I would tell myself, well, no, I shouldn't get it. Didn't necessarily plan well to save up to go get it. And so what would happen is at some point I would need something. And so then I'd either, it would be impulse buying, but it would be like, I need this thing. I probably should get a bunch of them so that I don't have to worry about having them. But they were not always things that I really enjoyed because I needed them quickly and they were either not the right color or they were, maybe not my style or things like that were like, okay, I can get 4 of these for, let's say $50, right? $50.
Right.
I should just get those. That way I've settled. I've got that taken care of. And so in some ways it felt like an impulse buy just because I'm like, I better just get that. And I need something.
Yeah.
But wasn't either something that suited me or something that really fit. And so in some ways it really wasn't worth it to have spent that money.
Right.
So
Right.
it was, yeah. And I had to learn, I think, some of it I think really had to come from figuring out who I am as a person and what I valued. And as I
Mm-hmm.
got older and learned those things, it was easier to say, it's actually better to save up for the one $50 thing that I think is the right color and looks great on me, and that I'm happy to pull out of the closet, rather than telling myself I don't have permission to spend $50 until I get desperate and need to find something fast.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so yeah, so for me it was really kind of learning balance, I would say, in a sense meant learning that it was okay to spend the $50 if I really spent it thoughtfully,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
rather than waiting till the last minute trying to get the most that I could get for $50, but the most
Right.
wasn't really what I needed,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense,
It totally does. Your story has just reminded me of these, like, I guess, I don't know, fleece pullover type things that I have hanging in my closet. And I have probably 5 of them because they went on sale, and I like to be warm because I'm always cold. And so I thought,
Yeah.
well, I'll just get one of all the colors. They were comfy for a while. Now they've been washed a lot, so they're less comfy, more
Oh
like
yeah.
there's, the little thing around the neck is kind of itchy. And when I wear them, they're okay, but they really need to be longer to look good on me. They
Mm,
sort of cut off right at that spot that makes you look a
right.
little wider than longer. And I'm like, they're all right. But
Right.
I really don't need 5 or 6 of them, or whatever is in there, especially because I usually will only want to wear the purple one or the black one. So I could have just gotten
Yeah.
the 2
Right.
instead of all of them. Or yeah, that is just
Yeah.
so I've done this more than once, I believe.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
probably everybody does to a certain degree. Either you get a lot of things that you don't need, or you kick yourself for not having gotten a lot at the time.
Right.
And I, that's another area where I've had to kind of come into balance and say, I can't get 50 pairs of these jeans and then just hope that I fit in them for the rest of my life. And, when I get, when it gets old, I can throw out the next one. I just need to enjoy the moment of this one pair of jeans that fits really great. And when they need to be thrown out, I will find another pair of jeans. It won't be the
Yeah.
same pair of jeans, and this is
No.
okay.
It will never be the same pair of jeans.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's so
anyway,
true. So true. Because I've done the exact same thing with jeans.
yeah.
I used to have this one that I love to wear, and then I couldn't find it anymore because they probably stopped making as many of them.
Right. Yeah.
And then I had to find something else. And then I didn't fit that style so good. And then I had to find something else. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why was I hung up on finding the perfect jean and having that same pair forever? Like, totally makes more sense to do what you just said and get one and be happy with it right now, and then get a new one when I need a new one, because I always wear through them. They'll have holes, and then I go shopping again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that's a good philosophy for life, but for sure with money, like patience until you get to the point where you've gotten or found what you really want, I think is a smart
Yeah.
way to spend the money then and feel good about it.
Right. So how do you avoid that trap? Because I am super, super good at the finding something and figuring, man, I better get this right now because it's on sale and it's going to be gone. Like,
I don't always avoid the trap.
sure, sure.
But yeah, like what I've decided to do, and I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere and I just don't remember where, but it's not like it's advice you can't find elsewhere, but at some point it resonated with me that it made sense to just wait a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. So normally like I would say 90 to 95% of the time, like I said, I don't always get it right, but most of
None
the
of us
time
do.
what I
It's
do,
totally okay.
yeah, most of the time what I do is if I'm going to spend some money, whatever it's on, whether it's clothes or it's computer for work or whether, new car, big, old, small, whatever. Um, Basically what I do is I wait. I see something, I like it. I think, well, maybe I'll get that, but I give it a little bit of time, unless it's something that I know 100% I absolutely love this thing. And there, if there's any kind of doubt at all, whether it's right for me or not, I just wait and give it a few days, because I feel like by the end of a week or less, I'll either know, yeah, I'm not really that in love with that thing, or that's not quite the right thing. Or if I can't stop thinking about it, like 3 or 4 days later, thinking, man, I really wish I'd gotten that thing, then that's a good sign that it's probably the right thing to get, and it's probably still there. And again, 90 to 95% of the time, it's not an emergency, So if I do go back and it's not there, not meant to be or whatever, it's not the end of the world. A little bit of a bummer, but I get over it. Most things you really can wait on, I think,
Right.
is what I've learned too. Um, it's a life or death situation, that's different, but then at that point you'll be making a different decision.
You'll be making a quick decision and you'll have to run with
Yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
exactly. But most things, even when they are things that we really are excited about, like a vacation, that doesn't have to be life or death either, right? If you can't get the deal that you wanted to this particular island this particular month, that's going to be okay. You'll find something else that'll be fun. So
I think
I
that's
try
a
to apply
really
it to
good
everything.
point. I love
Yeah.
that, because I feel like it is so easy to get caught up on, I gotta have this thing, this way, this color, this place, this time,
Yeah, for
whatever it
sure.
is, like the vacation, well, I've got to go to this one place. And unless that place is somehow super meaningful for you because,
Right.
a relative is buried there or you own property there or whatever. But if,
Right.
if you're just going on vacation, maybe the goal of vacation is to have vacation. And so you can vacation in lots of places.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, I've learned to think of it that way, and I can't necessarily say here's how I learned how to think of it, just except through experience and kind of being more aware of just day-to-day things that I enjoy and the people that I'm with. I'm like, it doesn't really matter if I'm in this particular outfit, having this particular drink in this particular location is really not as meaningful to me as I am with this person enjoying this experience that I
Mhm.
can remember. So that helps too.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I love that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
so sweet. I feel like that's almost much more empowering, and you're a lot more
Yeah.
centered on what your value is, what's truly important to you.
Yeah, for sure. I think knowing who you are as a person and what you value makes money decisions so much easier. And it is empowering because then I'm choosing the experience with this person. So it doesn't matter if it's in Los Cabos or in, Eureka Springs, Arkansas, or I don't know, downtown Tulsa. It doesn't really matter where it's happening as long as it's with this person. So I'm getting the most out of it. So once you know those things, you feel like, oh, I've made a great decision for myself, rather than I got let down, or, I missed out. Fear of missing out ends
Oh
up
yeah,
getting cut out a lot when you just decide what it is you actually value and are getting.
right.
You're not
Yeah,
you're
that's
not missing
awesome.
out on what you're choosing.
Right. You did say no to all that other stuff, but you're not missing the other
Right.
stuff.
Because you said no for a reason. I think that's big.
Yeah, that is big. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. This is so cool. I think I can be a little bit more relaxed now about my decisions on certain things, of just,
For sure.
what's really important about this situation or this thing or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah.
And honestly, that even that is empowering for the times when you do decide you're going to treat yourself. Like for me, if I'm really excited about buying this thing, but if I'm really aware of this means something to me because, this person's involved, or this is something I've wanted for 20 years or whatever, and I'm saying yes to it, it's also empowering to say the yes at that point. without the guilt, which I think, we've talked a little bit about before, but for sure, like getting rid of the guilt of spending money, I feel like happens when you really know for sure you made a good decision. If you can figure out making the good decision before you make it, yay.
Yay.
That's the tough part, but yes, takes some work to get there, I think.
Yes, it
But
does.
yeah,
Yeah.
anyway.
That's a fabulous concept of how freeing it is to buy something. And then you can really have joy in buying that thing because you know it's the one you want and you're happy with it, and you can be good with this
Yeah,
decision and not have that guilt of like, oh, I bought the thing and then I don't need the thing, don't want the thing, should have done the
right.
other thing. Yeah.
Exactly. I think there's a lot of guilt around spending that money because you know somewhere deep down that it just is not worth it in some way to you. So
Right. Yeah.
I know. For me, that's helped me a lot, I guess, is what I would say.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It's been fun talking about this stuff for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And now I'm ready to go maybe window shop and not buy
Yeah,
anything. I love
exactly.
this plan.
Seriously, test it out. If a couple
Test it
days
out.
later you're thinking, oh man, I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Good
Then I
sign.
can go back. And if it's still there, I might get it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No pressure.
No pressure. That's right. No pressure. So
Cool.
awesome. If
Yeah.
you guys want to hear more from Michele, you can find her on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all sorts of social media using the handle ChipperMuse. And she also has a website, chippermuse.com. Thank you as well to all our listeners and viewers. I'm your host, Camille Diaz. This show is sponsored by Serenity Financial, a Five Rings financial agency specializing in financial education, living benefits, and guaranteed lifetime income. Our money mantra for today is, I consider my purchases carefully.
I like it.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.